So I understand the role of a therapist. I think it's honestly just to have someone who's like a hired friend, basically, but like a hired professional friend. Like, yo, you're hiring me to actually listen to you, not you're hiring me to sit across from you at dinner and just like be on your phone while I'm on my phone. And, you know what I mean? Like, I think
like
it's just
reverse stand-up.
Reverse stand-up. Explain.
It's like they pay to listen to you.
Okay. Today, we talk about... No, man, the hashtags are the first thing I put in, actually. I think of the caption after.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. So much wasted time.
And actually what I do is to save even more time, I use what's called a hash expert, I think it's called. It's an app.
God damn
for
it.
hashtag expert. Yeah, you literally just put in one word. So like it's a picture of a dog, put in dog, and it'll spit out, because you can use a max of 30 hashtags. It'll spit out 30 hashtags related to dogs, but to be honest, some of them have nothing to do with dog. They'll say like art, love, photography. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But at least there's a tag there. So like someone may discover it and someone may happen upon it. And again, playing the numbers game, it's like someone's going to click on this. So, and if you do it enough, let alone every day, you're going to build a following. It's not
See, like, I have to be a good comedian and a promoter and a social media strategist.
Yeah, but see, this, like, it's so funny you describe it that way, because I'm just talking like someone who just did it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not a social media guru. I'm not, I'm not Gary Vee. I'm not like anything special. I was like, oh, this is just what I need to do, so I'm doing it. But I feel like you're looking at it like, oh man, I got to do all this like crazy stuff.
It's not that. It's one of those things where, like, we've all seen jokes that were right in front of our faces, but like this comedian was able to put it together. Yeah. And you're like, God damn it, I wish I thought of that. Like, it was right there for me to have. Right. It's just that.
Gotcha.
It's like, I knew all this information, but like having it just spoken out loud, you're like, and I've had people tell me, it's like, you should do this, you should hashtags, but for you to just say it, present it the way you did, is like, God damn it, you're right.
Well, because I'm on the spectrum, so like I talk very detailed, you know what I mean? So it's
what kind of spectrum?
Well, the autistic spectrum.
Oh, are you?
No, I think so. Okay. I don't have proof.
Okay.
I haven't like sat down to like do all the checklists on the diagnosis sheet.
How accurate is that, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's how little I've looked into this, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum. Like I've got to be. And you don't know me very well, so like you're probably like, I don't know. But like if you talk to any of my closest friends, they'll be like, yeah, he's definitely like, yeah.
That's fascinating. Yeah. I don't know. Mental health is one of those things where I'm very, I acknowledge that it exists. I think it's great that people are confronting what is inside their heads, but also at the same time, it's like everybody can't be going through this, Well, it depends on the thing. Yeah.
But also, something I appreciate about getting through this section of medical school was like when the psychology section came up, literally every diagnosis we would study, at least 5 people within the class would be like, yo, I got that. You know what I mean? So eventually what I'm putting together, and again, this is not scientific at all, this is just me thinking.
Right.
I think it's just that we're all technically on some spectrum mentally, and we have little bits and pieces of each thing. So if you have enough bits and pieces of schizophrenia, then you're fucking schizophrenic. Right. But you may have one component of it that's not debilitating as far as like a mental health issue, or mental disability, but you still have that little quirk. So we all have these little mental quirks. And so when you're like, oh, everyone can't have this, they may not have it. They may not have it to the level that you have. Like you may have a way bigger chunk of it than someone else does, but they may still have some. You know what I mean? I think that's how I pictured it in my head. And I'm sure there's a very savantish psychologist who can probably describe this a lot better, but in my head this is just how I picture it. We're just like, we all have these little idiosyncrasies that kind of...
Well, I phrased it poorly. I'll say that. It's maybe in a more macro sense. I think with mental health and the way people are treating it and diagnosing it, I think it's still at the stage where maybe Copernicus was, and he started figuring shit out, and we're just not
I see. Like,
evolved
we're still
enough
thinking
here where things like the diagnosis are more precise, because now people are still like have suspicions like, do I medicate or do I not medicate? Do I go to talk it out? How effective is that? I need the right person to talk it out to.
Yeah. See,
so it's all up in the air.
I'm glad you said that, because my thoughts with this whole therapist movement and go see a therapist, I think it's a good move, but I think it's only a good move because I feel like most people are fucking lonely. I feel like most people don't have someone they can just talk to who will listen, because our time is fucking valuable.
Yeah.
I got Instagram to swipe, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to listen to your problems, but you need someone to give you time to listen to your problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what you're anxious about, or whatever the issue is. Like, you need someone to like talk to. And I guess if you're married, that should be something. But then maybe there's some guy issues you want to discuss that you can't discuss with your girlfriend or your wife, or there's, you know, issues with your kids that you can't discuss with your kids. You can't be like, hey kids, this is what's bothering me about you guys. You know? So I understand the role of a therapist. I think it's honestly just to have someone who's like a hired friend, basically, but like a hired professional friend. Like, yo, you're hiring me to actually listen to you, not you're hiring me to sit across from you at dinner and just like be on your phone while I'm on my phone. And, you know what I mean? Like, I think
like
it's just
reverse stand-up.
Reverse stand-up. Explain.
It's like they pay to listen to you.
Okay. Dude, maybe that's how you fill the Bad Asian show. You just hire a bunch of therapists to show up. Oh, man, that might be a little expensive, though. But, yeah, I really think that's what it is. And then the Medicaid thing, I think it comes down to just shortcuts. Like, people are just looking for a shortcut. Same thing with, like, everyone wants a diet pill. Everyone wants just a pill. Like, no... while I just discussed why I think therapists are, quote, important, I also realize why people may not want to even spend the time to go see a therapist, even though it may be more helpful than the pill, because the pill, pop it and you're gone. Right. Well, not gone, but like, you know, you're done. But yeah, I think that's the crux of it. But again, I'm not a freaking, you know, psychologist specialist or whatever. But
neither am I. Yeah. We're just two comedians just
dope
trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I think that's the one I wanted. Yeah, these don't fit perfectly. I'm gonna have to
label
adjust
them too.
These. So they came with like a sticker card.
Okay.
And I have, look on my screen, I have the layout of which one's which, but I'm just. It has to be more muscle memory. I have to like know which one's where, or maybe I just limit myself to 2. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you know what I should have used when I said people don't have time for the therapist?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That would have been the appropriate one. I didn't use the right one. Damn it. Okay. So yeah, man. I think like what you were describing as far as like, oh, having you describe it, makes a lot more sense hearing it out loud. I think a lot of it also comes back to how I process information in the first place, in terms of also how I deliver it. What I mean is, like when I'm asking guys in middle school or high school that tell me that they went out on a date with a girl for the first time, my mind is like running at 1,000 miles, asking them like 8 billion questions. Like, oh, so, how did you get her to say yes? So did you bring her flowers? Did you, did you wear a certain shirt? Did you wear a certain cologne? Did you, like, I'm going through all these dumb questions, but like, they're still questions that I'm trying to check yes, no's to. And then, but the response I always get routinely from people is just, dude, it just happened, just, one thing led to another and it just happened. I'm like, bro.
You're a doctor? You're used to people filling out medical questionnaires?
I don't know, maybe. But like, that's just how my mind is wired. It's like, I need solid examples. I need concrete evidence. I need a template. I need a recipe book. I can't just be like, yeah, dude, just be present in the moment and it'll happen, bro. You just gotta, like, it doesn't work for me. But then when I get angry at people for be like, no, I need more than that, bro. You can't just leave it at that. Like, it's clearly you did some stuff and I need you to recount for me the same way I'm recounting for you, like my social media strategy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I need from people, and I just never get it because they don't think about it the same way I do. Hence why now I think I'm on the spectrum. I think that's my...
No, I think you're just lonely. You have no one to talk to the way, like, you have no one to communicate to you the way it makes sense for you.
I don't know that makes me lonely, because that would mean... Because I hang out with people and I have a good time with them, but in specific circumstances where I'm trying to communicate a certain idea, in those situations, it's just annoying, I think.
Yeah.
But
you're lonely.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to think about that, because I'm not lonely when I'm hanging out with a group of friends and we're just having a good time, because then I don't need that part of my brain, you know what I mean? Or when I am talking to someone, at least when I'm talking to them and actually communicating, like we just talked about the whole social media thing, like you clearly understood everything I said, right? Yeah. So it's not that I misunderstood. It's just like, I don't get it back. So I just get pissed off. You know what I mean?
But imagine if you had someone who understood.
Yeah, it'd be dope. But I just the fact that I don't have that, I don't know that I'm lonely as a result. But I think I understand that why you say lonely. Like, okay, in that aspect, yeah.
In regards to like you have no one for that specific part.
Well, you know what? I should say no one. I mean, I've met other people that can do that. Okay, other spectrum people, you know, or at least people I assume are on the spectrum. But yeah, I'm just saying. I wish that was like a routine thing for all human beings. Is like we all think like robots and spit out shit like robots. That's how I wish things were. You know what I mean? Selfishly speaking. But anyway, I wish you luck on your social media.
I wish me luck too.